All right, we made it, guys. Episode 82 of the Homestead Shop Talk podcast with Al from Luna Acres, Ben from Holler Homestead, and myself, Jason from Soul the Land. And one thing that we like to talk about here on the Shop Talk is the weather. The weather's been pretty cool, I think. I mean, we got a little bit of snow.
Snow and ice.
The ice isn't fun.
Just enough to kind of go sledding. We did a little bit of sledding this week.
That's cool.
You guys got a good property for sledding. Ours has all the the drainage cut-ins, and it actually kind of ruins it for sledding. You can sled down like 10 feet, and then you hit the bottom, and then you got to get up and walk to the next drop, and you can sled for like 10 feet. It's not very practical. There's a few spots up in our woods we could sled on, but there's too many like little stumps from where I cleared, and you know, it hasn't snowed in 2 years, so I haven't really gone and chopped them out. And so when you're only getting like an inch of snow and some ice, don't go sledding on that hill, because finding a stump with your behind is not very comfortable.
I know Lorraine went and bought 2 sleds like a few days prior. And I was like, oh, man, that's pretty optimistic, buying sleds. And one of them, I think we like hit a rock and it just like disintegrated. Yeah. It was not good, but we need a little bit more. Yeah. Our property would be a lot nicer if we had more snow. Like on the very top where my 1,000-gallon tank's at, and just go all the way down.
You got yourself a ski resort.
That would be nice, but yeah, not that much snow though. How about you, Al? What'd you get? Did you get any snow this week?
Yeah, I think we probably got 4 inches, and none of the storms were like predicted. Like we woke up a couple of mornings, it was like, oh, hey, we got 2 or 3 inches of snow. That storm was super weird. It was like 2 3 inches of snow, and it was like pure powder. I've never seen such light, fluffy snow. Like it was weird. Like it looked thick, so like you're like thinking you're gonna walk through it, and you're gonna like it's gonna like cushion your step or whatever because you can't see nothing. But you would walk through it, and if there was a hole there, you'd fall in the hole because the snow wasn't doing anything, but you just couldn't see the hole of the rock or whatever. So it was different.
That's funny you say that, because that's how our snow was when it first came down. It was the fluffiest. It was like duck down. It was so fluffy. I've never seen snow that fluffy. Yep. The same thing. Like you walk through and
probably.
Yeah, you could get the leaf blower out and move it around. It was cool until it changed to ice. And then it's like, it looks like little snowballs coming down.
Yep.
Yeah. No power outages or nothing.
That's good.
Although I did see, I thought it was so funny because what did we get? Like 2 inches maybe?
Yeah, it was around that.
Snowplow. I must have seen this snowplow 5 times drive by. I mean, I'm talking about like a huge, like a giant snowplow with like a dump bed. And I'm like, I bet you this guy was like ready, like he was just like, oh my gosh, I'm chomping at the bit to go out there. Because it doesn't happen that often. So I'm like, where do they pull that thing out? And he kept going by. Like, I don't know where he was going or what. It was kind of funny. Like, there was hardly anything on the ground.
He probably moved from up north down south. It was like, hey, if it ever snows and I keep my plowing, I can probably make bank.
I know.
Plowing everybody's driveways.
It was kind of funny. It was cool, though, just to see the plow. I mean, I didn't see him even use the plow. He was just driving by. So I don't know. Yeah, it was kind of funny.
How long did it stick around for in the not shady areas?
It was pretty much done by the end of the second day.
Yeah, but it snowed on Friday. Halfway through Friday, it started coming down. We were actually out in it, and by the time we were coming home, it was like 2 o'clock or something like that. There's already like ice on bridges and roads and stuff. There's a few places, like we're driving home carefully. There was a truck in front of us coming up our road, and we kind of cross this bridge and start climbing a hill, and we see the truck in front of us kind of like get all squiggly. And it was like, yeah, let's get off the road before this snow really gets any heavier. Like, it's really weird. Usually when it snows like that, like, I don't know, haven't seen it before to where the ground is freezing, and it was only like 31 degrees. Like, it was just really weird.
I know on the second day, on Saturday, I went to Lowe's. This was already like at maybe 2 o'clock, and then like half the Lowe's was like nobody there. Like they were shut down. I'm like, there was nobody in the lumber section at all. No, you can't check out there. You couldn't check out there.
So no
And
employees, nobody could get to work.
I guess, I mean, it was open and they had people, some employees there, but it wasn't like how it normally is. And everyone's like needed help with the lumber and nobody was there. I'm like, dang, like whole town is shut down.
I mean, I think it was Saturday morning. I took the golf cart up the road because I wanted to see, because usually we don't see a snowplow for a couple days on our road. And I drove up the road, and there's, most of our road is pretty covered in trees. So it's kind of like a tunnel. And there's a couple spots where it was like really, really icy. Like there's probably half-inch of ice on the road. And I was the only tracks on our road by like 10 o'clock on Saturday morning. So I don't think people were too enthused about driving on that.
Shut down. Snow day everywhere.
It's kind of weird. It was nice. Like there was no traffic on our road until Sunday afternoon when a plow came down. Like it was completely quiet. It was weird. It was like eerie. I could hear the pigs blinking from the woods.
When the plow comes by, do they sand or they just plow?
I didn't even see him do anything. I just saw him drive by. I don't know.
I know they put de-icer out. I had noticed that. I think it was the day before. I think it was Thursday. It looked like someone had dumped, I don't know, dirty water or something all over the roads. Not our road, of course, but like all the main arteries. And I was talking to my friend who works for the city, and he was like, oh yeah, it's just saline. They just drive and just dump saline all over the roads, and that's the de-icer. And it did work, because when we were coming home Friday, all the roads that I had seen that stuff dumped on were frost-free. And then we turn onto our road, and every shady spot was ice. So be kind of cool.
There's a science to all of that stuff. Like up here, like I don't geek out about it, but they get like really into it now. Like there's the brine, there's salt, and there's sand, and I think there's a couple other treatments, and it all depends on the cold temperatures. Like depend on like what the temperatures are. Like one works better than the other, kind of thing.
I remember going up in the mountains.
What's your preference, Al?
in California, they always use sand. Because, us Californians, if you want to play in the snow, you got to go up in the mountains. And all the places we always went, that was what they did. They would just go through and dump sand on the road.
That's what they used to do all the time up here. But I think for the last probably 5 years, they've changed, maybe a little bit longer. But like the liquid brine that they put down, that really rots out your cars pretty quick.
Yeah, that's all I could think driving on
it. Yep. Mechanics love it.
Is that when you see like all rusted, like some of the cars are all rusty?
Yep.
Like around the wheel wells?
Yep.
I have
you guys probably, your vehicles back in California, the ones there, they probably never rotted out. They're probably like, you could get like, what, 40-year-old vehicles and they'd be spotless?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mechanics must love it out there. It must be so easy to work on stuff that doesn't have rusted bolts and rotted out this. And
yeah, it used to be until they changed all the laws about being able to work on vehicles.
Yeah, it's perfect weather out there. Well, not lately. Well, them fires, I've been seeing that, man. I've been calling my family out there, and where the fire is at, I don't know. I don't have family there, in those areas. So I don't even know if I know anybody in those areas. I can't recall, but I've been calling my family, and yeah.
Jason, some of the areas that are on fire, like if you have family in those areas, you must be up a crust, because those are some nice areas that are on fire.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, it's not, I didn't think it was all, it does seem like that, huh? Like it does seem like all celebrity homes, but I'm sure it's not, but it does seem like that.
How far away are the fires from where you guys used to live?
I think it's still an hour, over an hour, I would say, hour and a half maybe.
Yep.
We were in the Central Valley, so that's like, I don't know, 2 to 3 hours away.
Gotcha.
I know my nephews, their schools had to shut down. I think she said for a week because they didn't want to turn the electricity on because they're afraid that would start a fire.
Hmm.
I was like, the electricity, I guess, because she said it's been so windy even in their area that they're afraid like it would blow over some kind of power pole and start a fire. So they wanted to shut all the electricity off at the school. So they did, and then like said no school for the kids. So I'm like, wow,
I remember those Santa
it's
Ana
crazy.
winds.
I
Like,
mean,
they're no
it gets
joke.
windy over there. I mean, I remember growing up and it would be really bad windy. I mean, trash cans all over the place, walking home from school. Like that was pretty common. And fires were common, but I guess this is different. Would you know exciting besides sledding?
Besides playing in the snow.
Tried to. I was throwing snowballs at Zeke.
Did he like it? Do the pigs like the snow or the cold?
I think they were inside. They were inside their little home for most of the part of the time. Yeah. I don't know if it bothered them or not, but it did seem like they were hiding out most of the time. I think they were probably wondering what the heck this is.
Our animals that like it the least are the chickens that are outside. Like
Yeah.
chickens, I guess they can't. It messes with their vision. They really can't see anything when everything's covered in the white. So they
Right.
usually tend to stay inside the coop.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'll start with my week.
Go for it.
So our pig, Sweet Potato, I think she's healed up 100%. Like she's acting normal. Everything looks back to normal. We haven't had any issues. She's eating, going to the bathroom fine. So I think we're in the clear. I think like the next we'll tell anything like when she goes to give birth if it's an issue or not. But she's still probably got I think 2 months before she gives birth. So I think hopefully that should be enough time to completely heal it up. So hopefully it's not an issue after that.
So what did you do?
We just separated her, and then the prolapse rectum at one point went back in, and
By
then
itself?
by itself. Yep.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you pushed it in or
No,
not.
we didn't have to. We thought we were
Okay.
going to have to push it in, and then when we got her separated in the pen by herself, it was already back in. And we were like, did Yukon bite it off? Because that's like one of like
Okay.
the things you got to watch out for. It's why you got to separate them because they're like the other pigs will eat it,
Dang.
and then it'll go back in and it'll get infected and stuff. But when we did it, we didn't see like any blood or any grossness anywhere. So I'm like, I don't think he bit it off. And so, I mean, if he would have bit it off, she would have been infected by now and she would have died, I'm sure, by now, or had a fever and been ill.
Yeah.
But she's been fine. So I think it just went in on its own. I don't know if he pushed it back in with his nose or what happened, but it all went back in and she seems healed up.
You gonna keep her separated or no?
She's separated right now still. We've been working on building a pig pen. We got the pig pen finished, and I was like, okay, we're going to move her into the pig pen. But I hate to do that already because it's inside. I kind of like having her outside in the fresh air and the sunlight. So now I'm deciding, do I keep her separated or do I put her back in with the other females? And then in the same hand, it's like, if she's not completely healed, I'd hate for the other females to, if it's cold out, like stand on top of her, just like pig pile while they're sleeping and have it happen again. So right now she's by herself. She's got an IBC tote full of hay, so she can just go in there and stay warm without an issue.
Right.
But like I don't know, I hate to make her go in, like just keep her inside a pen, like indoors all the time, and not give her outside. So I'm like, she seems fine. It's not that cold. I mean, it's cold.
You can't put like a netting around, or
no. The way it is, one of the ends, it's like comes off the end of the barn and it gets covered in snow, and there's no way to have like a run for her outside. I mean, it's a good sized pen. It's probably 12 by 12. So, but I don't want to keep her in there for months on end.
Yeah.
So if she gets worse, we'll put her in there, and then right before she bursts, we'll put her in there, kind of thing is the plan for now.
Right.
But I'm glad we got the pen done. So hopefully we don't need it. It's kind of one of those things like we're building all these pens and things for like if you got a sick animal, if they have a baby and there's an issue, but it's like the same man, it's like you hate to use them if you don't need them.
Right.
But,
Yeah,
They're
definitely
good to have.
yeah. My big thing is, especially for piglet time, it's still, it's still like nasty, raw, and damp. Some like the last couple of years, it's just like it's not frozen yet, and then it's just so cold and damp, and just everything's muddy. I'm like, I hate just to have the pigs outside or a calf outside and not have a place to bring them into and get them off of the mud and the yuck and everything.
Yeah.
So we got the pen done, and then we've been working on getting one of the other ends closed in, and that'll be the side that we use. So if we want to like have like bulk hay storage, we'll have some more room. If we want to have like bulk feed, we can put the feed in the area. So that's one of the things, I guess. Get your guys' feedback on. I'm trying to figure out bulk grain. So I found we can buy bulk grain in our area. I can buy it by the ton bagged, or I can buy it loose by the what do we got to get? I think we got to get 3 tons minimum bulk. You got to get 2 tons of one kind, and you can get a ton of something else. But then I'm like, if I do that, you got to get a silo. So I think if I buy it bulk by the ton in bags, no. So like you guys get totes. Every place I call around here, they're like, oh no, we don't do totes. Like, what do you mean? Can I bring you a tote and you can fill it up for me? They're like, nope, we don't have the capacity to do that. I'm like, everybody in the Carolinas uses totes. I want to be able to bring you a tote and get it filled up. I don't want to have to buy a silo.
Yeah, spoiled over here. Oh, so you're saying they would drive like a big rig and like dump it in your silo?
Yep.
you
Wow.
need a grain
That's kinda cool,
elevator,
too.
and yeah, that's a lot.
I think so. You can get smaller silos that'll hold like 2.5, 3 tons, 6 tons, 9 tons, whatever you want. I think the truck could just offload into it, and then you would just have like a pull door to put it into your bucket or whatever. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But so if I buy it bulk by the bag, like a ton at a time, I think I can go, if I get it from them, I can get like $5 discounted per bag. And then if you buy it bulk by the truckload, not bagged, you'd save an extra buck a 50 pounds. But my big thing is like I hate having all the bags. It's like, but it's not really that much more feasible. It's like, okay, I'm saving $1 more a bag, but then you got to go probably spend $1,000 or more for a used silo.
It's almost like it's not that much savings.
Right.
Like it's not that worth it.
Right. I'm like, I hate having the bags.
The hassle of dealing with the bags versus saving some money, but you're gonna have to get the site. Like, man, decisions.
It's almost like you're at this size. It's either you're this size or you're really big,
right,
to make it more worth it. You're like there's no middle. Like you're not saving any, or you can't go up, and you really can't stay. But yeah, it's hard.
I think the other big thing with buying it bulk, like loose, and they'll deliver it for free. So if you get it by the ton, bagged, you got to go pick it up.
How far a drive is that for you?
I'm gonna say it's about a half hour.
Well, that's not bad.
No, but you'd probably, round trip, I'd say probably figure 2 hours. By the time you get to the mill, get loaded up and everything.
I would do that if I could save some money and go pick it up. But
right.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was just like, I want to be able to buy like what you guys do, the totes. I'm like,
that's crazy how they like you couldn't bring a tote or even like say like 55-gallon barrels to them and they fill it up.
Yeah, I think the thing is they don't have a way to move it around.
Well, it's because they probably have a truck come fill their silo, and then the same thing, they have a setup to handle bags, and it's not big enough to put a tote under it. Truck. Yep.
Right. Yep.
Because I've seen stuff online where like almost like a co-op, right? Everyone gets together at say some parking lot, and then big old feed truck comes, and everyone brings their 55-gallon barrels, and then that feed truck just fills them all up.
Yep.
That seems very like, man, there should be more of that.
Right.
Um, and you're basically buying in bulk, but you're just all together buying in bulk, and you just bring your own tote. Like, how come feed stores don't do more of that? Or feed companies don't do more of that? I don't know.
I wonder if that'd be a thing. Like, so say if it's something you wanted to do, like, I wonder if it would be, if people would want it. Like, say, like you had like a silo and you bought 10 tons of, say, one grain, and then you had people just come to your property and buy it by the 55-gallon drum or something like that. I wonder if that'd be something worth it for somebody to do in an area. But
Yeah, I don't know.
I just hate having all the bags. You can't burn them because they got plastic in them.
Yep.
Ours are paper. They got 2 layers of paper, and then in the center there's a plastic. So it's like you
Oh,
can't
really?
burn them. You have
They're
to
not the
throw 'em
brown
away.
brown paper,
Brown paper with a thin layer
but
of
there's
plastic in the
plastic
center.
in it. Oh, okay.
And I think the plastic is to keep the moisture out.
Mm. Yeah, she seems like such a waste. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I think it is what it is. I mean, what
Right?
else is there to do? I mean, unless you buy a silo.
Yep. I'm gonna keep my eye on Facebook Marketplace for like a 2.5 or 3 ton plastic silo, but I haven't found one yet. But I mean,
They
it
have
has.
those. I've seen those little mini silos that you pull behind, like a trailer.
Oh, really?
They're not a silo, but they're just like a grain bin that you
Yep.
like. It's like a trailer with wheels on it, and you just drive it around.
I wonder how much they hold.
I don't know.
Because that was the thing, like, where to get it delivered, it's got to be a minimum of 3 tons.
Mm.
That's
I'm
a
sure
lot
they'll
of feed.
deliver it for less, but yeah, it would be.
Yeah, I don't know.
But that'd
Now,
be
what?
what, 6 pigs
Yeah. Yeah. About.
Mm.
Now,
for a
what kind of
season?
like grains would that be? Is that corn and what? Corn and soy, corn and wheat? Like, what kind of grain?
I think corn and soy, but I mean, so we can also get soy-free egg layer and chicken broiler food.
So
But
it's
then for like the pig and
pre-mixed.
stuff, I'm pretty sure the pig is corn and soy.
That has been probably the hardest thing is finding a place to get, affordable pig feed that is soy free. Like that has been the hardest
Yep.
struggle. Let alone organic. Luckily, there's 2 places
Right.
that we've used. We've used Kentucky Organic, Farm and Feed, Coffee, and we've used New Country Organic, and we can get what we want from both of those. But man, so helping my buddy Brian, he had siblings of my current pigs, and they got just regular feed. His were 350 pounds, mine are about 200 pounds. So like soy really is a fast way to grow out a pig. And so it's kind of seeing that, it's kind of making me reevaluate. It's like, man, well, what can I do to get my pigs to grow better?
So you think that was the one difference is your feed is soy-free that you get?
I mean, it's got to be, because these pigs ate a bunch of feed. Growing out 4 pigs over 6-8 months, that's a lot of feed. Like the feed is our biggest expense on the homestead, like by far. We spend more feeding our animals than we do feeding us.
Yep. So can you get organic pig feed that has soy in it?
Yeah, we can. I mean,
So
we
I
feel
wonder if you
pretty.
did like an experiment.
I've thought about doing
If you
that. Just
raised like say 2/3 of them soy-free like you normally do, and then raise like a third of them or something like that on soy organic and see what happens.
I'm afraid the results would be shocking. Like, there's a reason that's a common pig feed. Like, it will grow some pigs, and so I'm kind of like, well, there's been people that I've sold pigs to, and like I have part of the litter at home with me, and I know how big they are, and then I'll go over to their house and see the couple guinea hogs that I sold them, and the guinea hogs will be 4 times what mine are, and it's like, what the heck? Like, just changing from the organic soy-free feed over to whatever they're feeding them, generic pig feed. They've quadrupled in size in just 2 or 3 months. That's crazy. So I know it'll grow some pigs.
There might be some other stuff in there. I mean, if it's not organic, there might be some other things in there.
Fertilizer.
Maybe.
Got that special Piggly Wiggly growth hormone.
Special juice in there or something.
I'm looking up right now the ingredients for the grain that we get, and it just says organic grain products, organic plant protein products. So it's not even telling you what the grain is or the plant protein is. Trying to think. That would be the one we could get local, more local. Trying to think of the brand name I get. I wonder what their ingredients are.
That's another one of those things like feed. There needs to be more companies who do feed.
Right. We're lucky we have 2 in the area. I mean, I feel like we're kind of lucky because we have 2 in the area that actually do organic.
And cater to the small guy, to the small farm, the family homestead, and not where you gotta, you need tons of it, but still make it affordable, like a co-op. Someone's going to say, Jason, you need to start a co-op. I'm like, oh.
There you go. It's a business venture.
I know.
It's the grain co-op, equipment rental, and notary.
There you go.
Time for it, and now you're cleaning it out for it. You got it all organized.
Yeah. Yeah. And castrator.
Castrator.
Anything but that, though, no.
Yeah, so then we got snow twice this week, both the times. We weren't calling for snow. I woke up in the morning like, snow. And then what was it, 2 days later, they were calling for it. So maybe we got 6 inches. Because we got one storm that they weren't calling for. We got one storm during the day they were. And then the next day after that, we got more snow the following night. And they weren't calling for that. But we got a decent amount on the ground, probably 6 inches maybe. But every time we've been getting a good base like this, it usually melts. I'm hoping it'll stick around. We can groom some trails up and do some cross-country skiing and snowshoeing, but
yeah,
we'll see.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
How much more hard winter do you guys have?
Till February anyways, and then March is hit or miss. March usually you either get dumped on or you get nothing. Kind of thing. So I'm thinking where this year's been kind of mild, that we're gonna get slammed in March. It's gonna be like, okay, I'm ready for spring to come. We're gonna have all this snow is melted. We're gonna have the grass starting to green up, and then we're gonna get hit with a 1 or 2 foot snowstorm. That's usually what happens. And it's just I'm ready for spring.
Yeah.
But
messing with your head.
Yeah. I plan on it every year now, so it doesn't mess with my head too much.
There you go.
Don't get too excited. Yep.
Right.
Don't order them chickens yet.
Don't order them yet. No. April's the earliest. Usually May we start doing all the animals, just because
Wow,
it's not fun. So usually Mother's Day we'll get our piglets. When we were buying them, they'd be 8 weeks old, and it could still be just raw and nasty at that point. And you guys in May, you're probably mowing your lawn, aren't you?
Oh yeah, May's starting to get hot.
Is it?
Yeah.
Actually, usually
mowing lawns. Yeah.
May, usually the first batch of chickens is ready to process in May, and it's a guarantee you're gonna sweat the day you have to process your first batch of meat birds. It's a guarantee. It's gonna be 90 degrees that day.
We're usually processing end of June, July, and it's the first batch, we're usually not sweating too much. It's usually the second batch of meat birds that you can plan on sweating up here.
Wow. It's different now.
It is. And if you guys were doing it in California, you'd be sweating all the time when you were doing it, I guess.
Oh yeah. We could
It'd really be
do
no
it
downtime.
You could do it in
Right.
February and you'd still be sweating.
Yep. And no mud season, right? In California, really?
Oh no,
Not
it's all
really.
dry.
Yep.
Fire season.
Fire season. That'd be
Fire
different
season
to get
and-
used to.
Yeah, and wind season. Yeah, the chickens would probably get blasted with wind.
Yeah, that was my week. What have you been up to this week, Jason?
So I've been doing a lot more organization.
Is that why you
No
went
way.
to Lowe's?
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes. To get some more wood. Yeah, man. Like I don't know. I just been going nuts in the barn, like trying to put stuff away, put everything in bins, label everything. I mean, I built these carts this week. I built for a video. I did one cart, and I did a second cart. I kind of filmed some, but not really because I already did that video. So, but I built two carts, and yeah, that's just those two carts alone are pretty much a lot of my stuff that I had laying around. Because you got those are like medium sized stuff that are in there, and then small parts. I got bins for all those. I still got to make some kind of home for those. Like my nuts and bolts and screws and stuff like that. I think I know what I want to do now, but I haven't started on that quite yet. But yeah, the barn is looking a heck of a lot nicer. Now it's just trying to keep it that way. That's the hard part, put stuff away and don't be lazy about it. And yeah, I'm still not done yet.
That's truly the struggle, is keeping it clean once you get it clean.
Yeah. I mean, the bins have labels. Like there should be no excuse for me not to keep it clean.
It'll be hard once the busy seasons of spring and summer come.
Yeah,
That's
that too.
When it's really hard to keep everything picked up.
Also, it's just pretty much just me. So if it gets dirty or out of place, it's my fault. It's not like I could blame a bunch of people because it's just me in there, really.
4 teenage boys.
Yeah. I wasn't looking at you, Ben, when I said that.
Hey, it's all right. I got enough mess makers for the both of us. For all three of us, honestly. I'll send 2 of them to Al, 2 of them to you, and you can experience what it's like to have someone undoing what you're cleaning.
Right.
Oh, fun times. Yeah, so I'm still not done yet. I would say half the barn is pretty good, but there's the other half that has like all my spare wood and stuff. I still want to put all the like wood scraps and up on the shelf and make like some kind of lumber rack for everything. I don't know if I'm going to get to all of that before it gets hot. But yeah, it's going, and I'm enjoying the organization stuff. I mean, I'd like to finish it before it gets hot, but we'll see. So what else did I do? Yeah, it snowed pretty. I mean, not pretty good, but it snowed enough to sled a few times. And but it wasn't that cold. It wasn't. I think the few days before, I think it got down to the teens, and I think that is what froze one of my IBC totes froze. I don't think it felt like it froze solid. I mean, it probably didn't. I'm assuming like in the middle, it probably wasn't frozen, but it did seem like it was a giant block of ice. And but my 1,000-gallon tanks did not freeze at all. I think there might have been a little thin layer on the very top, but the whole thing was not frozen. Those are the questions I get a lot in the videos. Like, what about winter? What do you do with those tanks in the winter? And I'm like, it doesn't freeze that bad. I mean, what do you think, Al? I mean, for 1,000 gallons to freeze, you think it would I mean, I would have to have like 0 degrees like for a whole week.
Yeah, I would think at least. Even if you're a 250-gallon tank to freeze solid, that would take quite a few days of
Constant.
20 degrees or colder, constant.
Like all day.
All day, yeah.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
At night it might get like that, but then during the day it's like 30, 40s, 50s. Like today it was
Right.
warm, and today it was like 50s.
Yeah,
But then
today
your big
felt
ones
like
are
spring.
black, right? So I mean, they're gonna.
Yeah. It was nice today.
It was 50 degrees down there today.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Nice. We had
And
30. I thought that was warm. I was like, I
yeah.
don't gotta have a jacket. I can just have a sweatshirt, no work gloves on. Like this is nice.
Wow. No, I was outside all day today, and that's another thing I did. I started doing some fencing, but I did that. I'm doing this fencing because it has nothing to do with digging a hole. I don't have to dig a hole for this part. So it's something that I needed to do. I'm doing a single wire on top of a single hot wire on top of where my woven wire fence is.
So now you're procrastinating from organizing.
Yes, that's right.
At
People
least
are
you're
liking them organizing
productive.
videos. I was surprised.
At least you're productive with your procrastination. Like you're not just procrastinating doing something that doesn't matter. Like you're still being productive.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm just, in the videos I'm just kind of making fun or, just kind of just having fun with it. And, I'm sure you guys get those comments. You need to stop procrastinating, and so like I'm kind of playing off of that and like telling people like I'm procrastinating again by organizing. But those videos are doing pretty good for me. The organization videos, which I was very surprised. I didn't think people would really want to watch that, but or maybe they'd rather watch that than me doing fencing.
Something about cleaning.
So
people,
I'm doing
people
this
really
video.
like cleaning.
Yeah, I think I don't know. They like watching people clean. I don't know. Or organize. It's satisfying. I don't know. It's weird because I don't watch those videos.
You just make them.
I know. I don't watch any videos.
Have you ever seen those videos where someone like mows an extremely overgrown lawn? It's kind of like that. Like, I don't know what it is about those videos. Like, man, like seeing someone walk into this jungle of a yard and they go in there with a weed whacker and a lawnmower and, it's all time lapse, but you get to watch the yard come back and it's like, man, why is this so satisfying? Like, I don't get it, but I do get it at the same time.
It's true.
It's kind of like that with cleaning.
That is true. Yeah. I don't know what that is. Yeah. It's just so satisfying, I think, just to watch things like that. Especially in a time lapse. I could see a time lapse because it's like, junky yard to like, whoa, in a matter of like a minute. So I'm stopping organizing for a minute, and then today was such a beautiful day. I went out there and did this fencing. It's not too involved, but it's, it's still work. And plus I hadn't done a sponsored video. I don't know about you guys, but for a while there, I was doing a sponsored video at least once a week, it seemed like. And this whole last year, I maybe done one sponsored video. I don't know why that is. It's just I don't know. But this one that I'm doing, this fencing video, is a sponsored video, so that's another reason why I had to do it. But it's not too bad. I think the hardest thing tomorrow, what I got to do is dig a trench, and so I could run some wire across the gate where a gate's going to be.
So when's this video come out that you're working on? It
should come out. I'm hoping it'll come out before this podcast sometime this week.
Yep.
But
can you talk about
it's one
what
of them
kind
sponsors
of sponsor it is? Let me guess, Squarespace.
No, this is actually a fencing company.
Well, then that's
Squarespace
worth
is a good
it.
answer, though. Yeah. It's PowerFlex fencing. I don't know if you guys heard of PowerFlex.
Yep.
I believe Craig Judy works with them. They're in Missouri. they reached out to me and made me one of their partners, sponsors. So it's with them. So yeah, it's definitely worth it. And that's the first time a fencing company has reached out to me, which is cool. Like,
That's cool.
you know, it's not just you know, I'm sure you guys get those emails of like, you know, video game, want to sponsor a video game, or something that has nothing to do with what you're doing.
Yep, you get the email.
all the
We love your
time.
channel. We love the content.
Yeah.
We think this automatic pool cleaner would fit perfect into your content. We watch your videos every day. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I'll
And
use
that,
the pool
yeah.
cleaner in the cow water.
I know. I know. I don't get that. Or emails that I'm afraid to click on any link because it looks like spam, or it looks like I'm gonna get some kind of virus.
Yep.
And it ruins it. You know what I mean? Like, I think it ruins it for the legit people who really want to work with us. And it's sad to me sometimes because I'm like, I get so many. I'll get like, you know, I don't know, say 6 emails in one night and all the emails look horrible. Like, yeah,
Yep.
pool cleaner, a video game, or and it's just sad because one of these days, maybe a real legit company that I want to work with is going to email me, and I'm going to think it's spam.
Right.
You know, so that's what's hard. That's another thing. I mean, some of you guys who listen, I mean, some things that we gotta, you know, I guess be aware of as we do these videos is we gotta like vet what's real and what's not. What's a legit email and what's a legit company, and what's fake. You know, because it's out there.
So basically, you're saying any potential advertisers out there, if you're going to reach out, make sure you title the email, "This is not spam. Please read before you know, whatever." Like, put our names in the header.
Something. Like, I don't know.
I know what you mean. Like, there's some that these emails come through and it is such bad English, it's almost unreadable. It's like, yeah, no. I don't care what your product is.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even understand what you're trying to get me to sell.
Right. Or I don't know. I don't know what they can do to better do that, but somehow this PowerFlex company contacted me, and I knew the name. So like, obviously I'm going to click on it. You know, if there's a company that I'd never heard of them, that's a little bit more difficult. Because I bought stuff through PowerFlex before, so I already knew who they were. So having a name, I guess, does help. Like,
just keep waiting for that
like
TYM email to come through.
That's what I was about to say. I was like, if TYM just contacted me, you know, I would know the name. I would know the name.
Yep.
So yeah, so hopefully I'll get that fencing video done, and then not sure what's after that.
So they got to approve it?
Yeah, I think they're gonna approve some of it. Yeah. We'll see how that process goes. But
right.
So far, so good. So far, they've been really helpful, really easy to work with. So yeah, I got plenty of fencing videos to do. So, so they're a good.
Procrastinating and start on the fencing videos again.
Yeah. Yep. I know. I gotta do that. But yeah, other than that, I'm trying to think. I mean, so far January has been pretty easy going. You know, just kind of low key. I feel not bad.
So do you guys feel like winter is low key, like more chill time for doing homesteading stuff?
I think so. Or it's different. I mean, as far as animals, for me, winter has always been like very minimal, which allows me to do organizing and fencing and building chicken coops. But I think so. Overall,
I mean, it can be.
You think so, Ben?
It depends. You know, like this is the time of year we put all the meat away in the freezer, so it can be busy that way. So I don't know. It's
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
it just
Yeah.
depends. Like it depends on what you got going on. Personally, I like to stay as busy as possible. I really, really enjoy butchering. Like, I really enjoy putting all the animals in the freezer. So the busier I can stay with that, the more fun I have. Like we're doing our hand hewn class this weekend, and I'm like, you know what? I don't want that to be the last pigs that get processed. I'm gonna go ahead and process these last 3 guinea hogs that I got. So I'll be doing that the weekend after. I just enjoy it. Like it's really cool when it's cold
Damn.
outside and you can hang the meat outside and it freezes. Like that's just so cool to me. Never lived anywhere that gets that cold.
Mhm.
And it's not even that cold. It's, just barely below freezing. But I don't know. It can be as busy or as slow as you want. I know not having the garden, it kind of takes a little bit of the urgency out of it.
I think too the weather. The weather makes it more easygoing because you're not out there sweating to death and like, not humid as heck.
Yeah, that's very true.
Makes it a little bit more easygoing. What do you think, Al? Or are you busier in the winter?
I find we're still busy. It's a different busy though, and
Yeah,
I
it's
think
a different.
the weather depends on that. Like if it's snowy and nasty out, like you just got a lot more time cleaning up the snow, plowing and shoveling and breaking the animals' water and stuff like that.
Right.
It's a nice season change because you're going through the different seasons and everything. It's not the same, so it's busy, but it's just different.
Right. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think it'd be different if I had like besides the pigs, but like if I had animals year round. Like cows.
Right.
I think that'd be different for me because we usually butcher everybody before. Everyone's getting butchered before winter comes.
All going in the freezer. It makes
everyone's
a big
going to the
difference.
freezer. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's up, Ben? You getting ready for this weekend?
You could say that. I have done my darndest to keep that barn clean from the last class that we had. I cleaned it before our October class and then had to clean it again before our November class and once again for the December class, and walking out there today, kind of giving it a once around because our class is this Friday. And when this podcast goes up, we'll be doing the dirty work. It just needs like a quick tidy up, maybe sweep up the floor. I have a deer hide I was working on that I haven't finished that's got to go outside. But other than that, like there's really not a whole lot. We actually like had success. We kept it clean from the last class. So that's kind of exciting.
Are you going to have heaters in there for the class?
Oh, yes. I'm doing that first thing tomorrow morning. I'm taking all my propane canisters and getting them filled up. So we have, I don't know. It depends on the weather. I start watching the weather app like a hawk. It's like, okay, what's it going to be like? A week ago, it was like, it's going to be in the low teens, not even above freezing that weekend. And looking at the weather now, it's like, yeah, it's going to rain all day Saturday and Sunday. So I don't know. We'll see. As long as it doesn't rain on Friday. Friday is the outdoor activities, and Saturday and Sunday are the indoor activities. So it can rain all at once we're inside. It can be kind of miserable. Is it
just one pig or two?
It's just one pig. After doing a 2-pig class with them, it really does kind of cramp the weekend a little bit. So we've just decided one pig's good enough. It is kind of nice, like doing so many pigs. We can kind of just like turn them loose. Say, here you go, Doug and Andy, have fun with these pigs. Do whatever cuts you want. I've already gotten all the cuts that I like, mandatory cuts that I need for the year. All my copas and prosciuttos. We actually just hung 2 prosciuttos in the kitchen today. So yeah, it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool to be to the point where we're processing so many. It's not like, I don't know, there's kind of a desperation when you only process 1 or 2 pigs a year, and it's like, well, I want copas, but I want pork shoulders, and I want Lon says, but I really want some pork chops, that kind of stuff. It's nice to have enough in the freezer to where it's like, yeah, let's do whatever. Let's be creative.
Mm-hmm. That's good, man.
So this week I made a pig shelter for all of the young pigs. They've been in a temporary pallet house that I made them with a tarp roof. I think I made that the last time Hand Hewn came through here. So it wasn't as temporary as I meant, but it's finally been replaced. It was probably a foot
Permanent temporary.
Yeah, it was permanent temporary. These pallets were so deep in the ground from the pigs just, bedding and wood chips and the pigs pushing stuff around. I couldn't rip these pallets out of the ground. They were like a foot in the ground. So I built them this new house, put it in there, and then went to go take apart their pallet house and couldn't hardly get it out of the ground. And then on top of that, the ground's been frozen, so there's like a small window in the afternoon when I can, the ground will defrost enough I can do stuff. So these pallets are still in their pen, full of frozen mud. I'm gonna shuffle everybody around once the pig for this weekend's class is out of the way. I'm gonna move everybody and get pens cleaned up, stuff like that. And I'll have to get those pallets out then, but yeah. It's nice to have a movable house for these pigs because, they're younger pigs. I don't know if you guys have experienced that. The younger pigs always tend to go to the bathroom under their roof. They have their bed area, but then they'll still poop undercover. I don't know. It's kind of frustrating. It's like, man, don't poop where you sleep. Technically they're not,
Right.
but it's still pretty close. So I like to be able to move their house so I can clean all that out. And it's kind of exciting. It's like, oh, sweet. I can very easily clean the pen now. So other than that, Friday we went and helped some friends of ours, some mutual friends of us and Jason, process their pigs, and they're like a Mangalitsa Duroc cross, I think. So kind of a weird looking pig. But yeah, kind of like they had the real long, like ugly, ratty looking face, kind of like a Mangalitsa, but then they kind of had a round, kind of muscly body, kind of like, one of the more modern breeds. Well, getting into them, as soon as we, start eviscerating, you can start seeing the meat, and it's very, very much Mangalitsa meat. Like, it's dark red. It looks like beef. For those who don't know, a Mangalitsa is it's like I think it's Hungary's, like, it used to be their national pig. I don't think it still is because they're hard to breed and they kind of fell out of favor. But these pigs have the darkest meat you've ever seen. Like, it looks like beef. Honestly, it kind of tastes like beef. Best pork I have ever eaten. These are the pigs that are they're white and woolly. So went over there, helped them process, and we were kind of in a hurry because the snow was coming. And it was like, let's be home before the snow hits, just in case. I know how people around here drive in the rain. I definitely don't want to be on the road when it starts snowing. So I realize everybody says that. No matter where you live, everybody's like, oh man, nobody knows how to drive in the rain. Well, that's how it is here. People forget how to drive in the rain. So it was like, yeah, let's be off the road before it gets all snowy. So we were just kind of racing, started in the morning, processed these two pigs. I think we were done by noon and hung them up. Nice thing about the weather. It's like, hey, we can hang these right out here in the garage and they will be frozen solid in the morning. It's all about the time of year you do it if you're doing it yourself. Like, who needs a walk-in cooler if you do it at the right time of year? So we hit the road. I think we went and picked up milk and came home. By the time we were coming home, it was snowing pretty good. Visibility was kind of low driving, and there was starting to be some ice on the roads. But yeah, got home and let it snow, let it snow. It was actually like, it was really, really nice. Like, kids went out and played in the snow. I think we all played in the snow. And we probably had about an inch on the ground. And it was like someone flicked a switch. And all of a sudden it started coming down as like rain. It was like tiny little snowball rain. And it like melted most of the snow. At least it did here. I don't know about over at your house, Jason. Like it melted a bunch of the snow, but it was like below freezing. So it didn't really like turn to water. It just melted the snow, turned to ice.
Mm-hmm.
I think later Friday
Almost
night.
sound like hail.
Yeah, it sounded like hail. Like we were out in it and I would stand there and like catch it in my hand and it looks like little slushy snowballs. So I don't know. I like to go down to the barn and play guitar on Friday nights, and I usually play like an hour or something like that. And I could hear it just kind of like tink, tink, tink on the roof. And all of a sudden I feel this cold breeze and I happen to look up from my playing and there's snowflakes coming in through the door. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess the rain's done. And it started snowing again. And so I would say by 10 o'clock, most of our tracks that we had, walked around in the slush were covered up with fresh snow. And then by the next morning, we probably got another inch on top of what we had gotten before. That's the earliest I've ever seen these boys get up. They got up and they're out sledding. They found spots to sled. I will say ice sucks. Like having that much ice, it sucks. We have a lot of hills and stuff like that. And a lot of the snow kind of melted on Saturday, but then it refroze on Sunday. And like it was a skating rink around here. Going down to feed the pigs, it's just a nightmare. I will say this. The golf cart did surprisingly well on the ice. I don't know if it was the knobby tires or like I was impressed. I kind of, slipped my way out to the shed to get feed. I was like, what the heck? I'll just try the golf cart. We'll see how it does. And it did surprisingly well until we broke it. So the golf cart's out of commission again. I'm pretty sure I shredded one of the, I think it's the spline shaft on one of the wheels. Both of them, actually, both wheels, spline shafts shredded. So I've had this happen before. I had replaced the brake drums with just some I got off Amazon, and they showed up and it was like, these are really cheap. And I probably only got like 2 months out of them before all the splines in the drums sheared off. So I put on the old ones that were mostly worn out, and now those are broken. I apologize if I sound a little weird. I've got like a tickle in my throat from talking. I'll stop talking and start coughing here in a second. But yeah, that's looking down at my note. I wrote in like all caps, "Ice sucks." So yeah, that's pretty much.
Ice sucks. That's all you gotta know.
Yeah, that's pretty much my week. We're getting ready for our hand hewn class. I'm ready. I'm excited. It's kind of nice. Like I'm not teaching this one, so I'm just kind of like hanging out. Like on Friday, I'll be driving the tractor to haul the pig after the deed. I'm gonna shoot it. It's my pig, so I'll shoot it and then haul it with the tractor and stuff like that. But it's kind of weird. It's like the pressure's not on me. It's on Doug and Andy. So it's going to be fun. And I think what's kind of nice is like, if I need to wander away and go do something else, I can. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to it.
You know how many people are going to be there?
Yeah, hold on. Meg's right here. Let me ask her. Counting us, it's going to be like 22 people.
Wow. That's a good class.
I mean,
that's a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a lot of people. But that's counting Doug and Andy too. What is it, like 14 students? 12 students. Yeah, so counting all of us, because our boys are going to be down there too. That's another almost adults anyways. So
Oh, okay. Yeah.
yeah, it's going to be
Right.
a dozen students.
So they get into the classes with Doug and Andy.
A couple of them do. They really want to show up on Sunday, the third day. They really want to hang out when all the charcuterie stuff comes out. But as far as like day one activities, they've all seen me shoot and process a pig so many times. Like, they don't care. The younger two are usually out there to get dirty, but we'll see.
Yeah, man. We're looking forward to it. I think it's going to be fun.
I don't think we've talked about it. Jason's coming to the class. The last time you came, we had Snowmageddon, and you missed the charcuterie day, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. I did. I came or was it 3 day or was it 2 day?
You only came for 2
I
days.
don't remember.
I want to say the majority of the class.
But it was a 3 day.
Yeah, the majority of the class bailed
Okay.
Saturday night.
Yeah.
Because there was a big snowstorm coming, and you were still living up in Asheville then. It's like, I ain't driving that far.
Yeah. The last day I couldn't make it. I was just like, we got dumped on that night, and I didn't come. But yeah, I've waited years for you to do it again.
I think it's been that class was like, what was that, 21 we did that class? Like, that was a while ago. And then we've done them again since then. So yeah, it's been a minute. That was like 3 or 4 years ago that you came to that class.
Yeah. No, it should be fun with everyone there and everything, and just hanging out.
It's gonna be good.
You're signed up too, Al? You're coming?
Probably not. Maybe next time.
We'll figure it out.
Maybe next time.
We'll figure out a way to get you down here.
We will.
Yeah.
I'm sure you will.
So that's about it.
That's it.
All right. We'll leave it at that. Thank you guys for listening to this podcast. Thank you so much, and for all the great comments you guys give us and all the support. Even if you listen to us on these podcast apps, thank you for that also. And hope you guys have an awesome week and awesome till next Friday. And we'll see you guys. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Have a good week, everyone.
Later, everybody.